Okay, hi, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. I actually did some work on the Wiki 2 mod last night, this morning, / time is an illusion. So let's go over the changes for today, which is May 22nd, 2021. A few changes. What do we want to start with here? Let's start from the top, huh? Change number 1 is to the politics, particularly debt law has been changed from debtor prisons to bankruptcy. Debtor prisons were federally abolished by law in the United States in 1833, though some states took until, I think, 1837 to abolish it. And to be fair, some form of debt prison arguably exists in current capacity, but as far as the spirit of the law goes, it is technically illegal in 1836, so that has been changed. I also got rid of the, where the fuck is it? The draft reform. There was no draft in the United States. There was no draft for a very long time. The Civil War is when drafts started being a thing. You could sign on for a 2-year contract or whatever, but that is not a draft. So it's ahistoric to start out the United States with the 2-year draft. Instead, we have no draft, which, adds immigrant attraction, and, you have more administrative efficiency and tariff efficiency. So there's that. Slight changes have been made to the starting ruling house. It was 360-37, I think. This is more proportional to the actual, 24th United States Congress. United States Congress, the 24th United States Congress in 1935, which is really the closest we're getting to January 1st, 1936, had 21 liberals, 21 what we would call liberals here, Whigs. In the Senate, 26 Jackson. It was the Jackson and anti-Jackson party at that time, but the anti-Jacksons would go on to become the Whigs, and don't fucking worry about it. I'm gonna say conservative and liberal here because the parties in the early United States changed hats every 4 fucking years. 2 reactionaries, 26 conservative, 21 liberal. Whereas in the House it was 91 liberal, 140 conservative, and 7 reactionary. That comes out approximately to 41%, 56%, 3%. So, slight changes. Will it matter? No, but I was just looking at the numbers. They seemed arbitrary, and they were. So this is a bit closer to reality. I didn't change anything else in here, did I? Nope. Next up is the reorganization of the United States fleets. Now, the fleet composition that we start out with, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Squadron, 1st and 2nd Reserve Squadron, that was not the way that the United States Navy was organized at that time. It's actually it was a really weird organization at the time, kind of ad hoc and didn't make a lot of sense. So I've reorganized these fleets based on where ships just actually were moored or docked or based out of at that time. Specifically, they're the Gulf of Mexico or the West Indies, Boston, New York, the Pacific, and Virginia. That's it. So I've made a few changes to the fleets. We have cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships, being 4 ship of the line, or man of wars as they're called in this game, and 1 frigate, because the USS Alabama, USS Vermont, USS Virginia, USS Pennsylvania, and USS Columbia had not launched by January 1st, 1836. As a matter of fact, USS Virginia would never launch. A lot of ships that were included because they were commissioned and sitting in dry dock were burned, rather than let I almost said the conservatives, the Confederates, gain access to them in the United States Civil War. So they were technically available, but not in service, not manned. So it seems kind of in bad faith to have them operate as if they're manned, immediately available ships. I deleted both of the transport flotillas or clipper flotillas, because I had no idea what the fuck the McKay flotilla was. I tried my best to figure out what the fuck that was about. Maybe I missed something. But they're not really that important. They build really quickly anyway, so I nixed them. It's only historic ships that are currently in the game. Did I add one? I might have renamed one. So the Navy size has shrunk a little bit, but that's fine. They're now based out of locations more appropriate. These two groups, those based out of the Pacific and those based out of the Gulf of Mexico and the West Indies, were actually involved in the Second Seminole War here in dropping off troops from up on the East Coast. They dropped troops off and then they went about patrolling Central and South America and the Mediterranean. So that's why they're located here and here. The leaders are automatically assigned. I have not assigned them. Maybe they're not automatically assigned. I didn't assign them. Point being, John Adams and the New York are in Norfolk. Got the Washington and the Hudson up in New York. The Columbus, Franklin, and Independence up in Boston. Yeah, a lot of these were actually active in the Mediterranean and in the Pacific because, you know, they were based out of foreign ports oftentimes. But you can't have them, well, you could probably have them spawn over there, but you know what? No, I'm not about it. Spawn them in port to make them easier to access and easier to take stock of for the player. And the last thing I did today is add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 new railroads to the United States. Sounds like a lot. It's not. Here's a map of United States railroads as of 1835, and this is approximate, mind you. A whole bunch of these weren't included. Some of these, this particularly, and some of these I can't include because they're in the mountains, and the way that the tech works is I can't build shit in the mountains. Well, I could say that there was railroad here, but it'd be way ahead of its time. So I added in some new railroads, which is like a very modest boost to the United States. Nothing crazy, really just dotting the I's, crossing the T's here. But yeah, that's what I got done today. Enjoyed poking around in the game. I'm looking forward to Victoria 3 coming out. In the meantime, in the interim, I should say, I'm interested in taking more of a look at what I can do to dress this up, polish this, get it in a state where I'm more proud of it. But this project, as I've said, will never truly be done because I'm a perfectionist and the demand here is very low, so I'm just going to keep implementing and implementing whenever the mood strikes me, and the mood has struck. So that is it for today. Until whenever, I'm going to say toodaloo, take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.